Hi, I'm Hub Arkus for Pro Football Weekly as we're here to preview our game of the week for Week 12 of the 2012 NFL season. That would be the San Francisco 49ers visiting the New Orleans Saints. Associate Editor Dan Parr to my right covers the NFC South and the Saints. To his right, Dan Arkush, our Executive Editor, has the NFC West and the 49ers. And actually, Dan Arkush, I'm going to come to you first because something happened after the Monday night game that caught me by surprise, and you wonder if it caught the rest of the 49ers by surprise. Head coach Jim Harbaugh, instead of nipping his quarterback controversy in the bud, seemed to throw gas on the fire.
Hub, it's a fascinating situation now. He says he's going to go with the quarterback who has the hot hand. Well, obviously, Colin Kaepernick's hands were sizzling in a tremendous coming out party. But Alex Smith is hardly chopped liver. I mean, he's completed 26 of his last 28 passes with 4 TDs. I'd say that's pretty hot, too. So, I mean, I honestly, I'm very anxious to talk to our sources out in the Bay Area to figure out what's going on right now.
And Dan Parr, I'm guessing the New Orleans Saints weren't sorry to hear that news because they'd like the 49ers to have every distraction they can. If they play like they did against the Bears, the Saints might as well not show up.
That's absolutely the case. I mean, it's going to be tough, I guess, for the Saints if they don't find out. The 49ers keep their play close to the vest this week, and they don't know who the quarterback's going to be. You have to prepare for two very different kind of quarterbacks. And for a defense that's really struggled greatly for most of the season, they don't need that disadvantage. So it's going to be a tough test, I think, for the Saints defense, no matter who is under center for the 49ers. Unfortunately for New Orleans, they just have not played well on that side of the ball. These are not the Oakland Raiders this week.
And we come back to Executive Editor Dan Arkush. I wonder if maybe Jim Harbaugh in the back of his mind wasn't thinking exactly that. Granted that the 49ers have an extensive playbook, but you're not going to have the same game plan for Alex Smith that you do for Colin Kaepernick. And it may be that he wanted Joe Vitt and the New Orleans Saints thinking about that all week.
It's a great point. And, I think one other thing we should mention, it's quite possible that Alex Smith is still feeling some lingering effects from that concussion. So that could make this whole so-called dilemma academic, at least for next week. I think the real key is the Niners getting off to a fast start like they did last week. The games that they've lost, they haven't gotten off to fast start.
Dan Parr, most of the Saints' problems have been on defense, and with that Niner offensive line, they could have their hands full again. But they struggled on the offensive line a bit early in the season, too, and the way the Smith brothers were going Monday night, you just wonder, have they adjusted well enough on the offensive line to handle that?
They've been banged up at right tackle. Look for the 49ers to really zero in on that position and try to get Aldon Smith in some favorable matchups there. He certainly teed off on Gabe Karimi, a first-round pick, here on Monday night. So I think you look at that side of the ball. On the left side of the ball, you have Jermon Bushrod, a Pro Bowler last season, but still not a guy that I think a lot of people consider a truly elite left tackle in the game. If you can get pressure there, Drew Brees suddenly becomes a lot less dangerous. I know if he has time to throw, it's a different story. But you go back to that game that these two teams played in the postseason last year. Both offenses had their way with the other defense, so maybe they'll get a little different outcome this time around.
So let me come back to my 49ers, Dan, with the question we have to ask, because they played an almost perfect game Monday night. We can't poke holes in the depth chart of their roster. 3 times this year, the 49ers have failed to show up. Minnesota, the New York Giants, and the Rams. How does Jim Harbaugh avoid that happening again, coming off this huge Monday night performance?
Just coming out of the gate like gangbusters, and I think they want to get the Saints back on their heels right away and just establish a really consistently effective offense like they did. And then, of course, on defense, I mean, they really are playing at a high level. Aldon Smith all of a sudden is on a pace for a record-breaking number of sacks, 24 now, if he can keep this up. So, I think it's just kind of picking up where they left off and really having a sound game plan.
And Dan Parr, the Saints as a team haven't looked that different to me. But you can't argue that under Joe Vitt, they're not a better team when you look at the record. What is he doing that is different than what was happening when he was suspended?
He's put an extra emphasis on the running game, which Aaron Cromer didn't do, to my surprise, when he was the head coach for the first 6 games of the season. That's a key we haven't mentioned yet. The Saints are balanced on offense. They're such a more potent attack. If they can do that against San Francisco, so many things open up for them. That's going to be, again, maybe another matchup that we need to focus on in this one.
All right, guys, it is prediction time. We'll go from the Saints sideline first. Dan, what do you think?
I think the 49ers go into New Orleans and get a win. I know it's a tough place to play, and we still don't know who will be starting at quarterback for them as we sit here right now. But I do think that the 49ers, with what they have defensively and on offense, they're just more balanced on each side of the ball than the Saints are, and I think that's going to lead them to a victory.
Dan?
I'm going to have to agree with Dan. Even though the Saints, I believe, haven't lost in November since 2009, The Niners just really look good against the Bears, and I just see them picking up again.
Yeah, guys, I got to tell you, coming off that Monday night game against the Bears, I might pick the 49ers over the 85 Bears right now. I don't know how you pick against them the way they're playing football, assuming they show up. That's going to do it for our preview of the NFL Game of the Week. For all the best in news, notes, and analysis, all the news, scoops, and rumors before they happen, keep yourself dialed up at ProFootballWeekly.com.